Have you ever tried to establish a relationship, a friendship with someone new and y'all just didn't seem to connect? It seems like people in our lives just come and go, and making new connections are just what we do. We're social creatures after all. But some people seem to just not connect with us. It can feel a bit daunting and irritating at times. But throughout my life, since I would say that I'm a empath. People tell me that can somewhat sense how people are feeling in any given social situation. It's something I still learn about and improve every day. But why I mentioned that was I feel like some of my tips that I use to confront social situations really daily may help some of you all establish more authentic friendships with people going forward. And so here are my 4 tips on establishing a comfortable conversation. Tip 1, relax. No one likes to have a conversation if the other person is stressed. That puts a bit more weight on one party to try and like carry conversation in a lenient and comfortable direction, which, that's some people, when you're talking to someone, they may just have things going on in their life that you didn't control, you have no control over, but you just have to kind of calm them down in some sort of way. But if you are grounded and you're set, steady, calm, then that would help the other person to feel the same way. Because, well, we're like mirrors. If someone's stressed, we feel stressed. Someone's calm, we feel calm. So it's kind of based off of that concept. But yes, before you get into any conversation, I would suggest just relaxing, take some deep breaths, as stereotypical as that sounds, and relax a little bit. Step 2, read body language. I'm not an expert at body language or at all, really, but someone seems like scrunched up, or they have their arms crossed, they may be a bit reluctant to start talking to anyone really. May just need some time by themselves. Of course, this doesn't mean immediately if someone has closed body language that they wouldn't be willing to talk at all. You may brighten their day and help them out with whatever they're going through, but just something to keep in mind. Step 3, politely approach. Time is something we don't have a luxury of 24 hours a day, and that's it. So be respectful of other people's time and your time by walking up to them, maybe verbatim, politely asking, hey, may I sit here? Or, hey, willing to chat? Something like that. Kind of open up the gates of conversation. It's something that has worked well for me, and I always try to be very aware that I'm not bugging anyone when I'm talking to them, that whoever I'm talking to is a willing participant, and I'm not simply just talking at them. So yeah, that's a very important part of it. Just being polite and considerate of whoever you would like to start a connection with. And the last tip. So you're walking up to someone. You see that they seem to be somewhat calm. Maybe they're relaxing. You're in a cafe, perhaps, sitting there sipping their coffee, legs crossed, which in the cafe setting, I would think that would be relaxed. You walk up to them, say, hey, may I sit down here? They're like, oh, sure. But you don't know what to talk about. Here's where finding common ground is how you would think of something to talk about. So, bringing up the cafe example, you could just simply ask, I don't want to say, yeah, no, don't say, do you come here often? Say, hey, have you been at this cafe before? What do you like about this cafe? Try to get some sense of like where their mind is at. If you're in a particular gathering place, that's a good foundation. Say you're at a concert or bookstore or at a college. Those are great starting point to say like, hey, college example, what's your major? What are you studying? Concert, what's your favorite music? What do you like about this band? Do you know this band? There's no real definite, conversation starting point, but you're just trying to find something that you two can connect on. And just you being in the same place as someone else when you're talking to them gives you something initially to speak on. Which some of that could be a bit harder to branch off of than others, but you just kind of gotta play it by ear, I suppose. And, also, one conversation tip I would say that has helped would be, or a conversation foundation, would be media. Because nowadays, everyone is on digital media of some sort. Social media, that being anything from videos, video games, all the platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, all those things. You could ask someone, what do they get from that? Why do they use it? Things like that. Or maybe someone could hail on the more traditional side, which isn't as common nowadays, but that would be an interesting conversation to have. Say someone had a book or saw them writing down some notes physically. You could ask, are you interested in reading? Are you a writer? Which medium do you prefer, like digital opposed to traditional? That's another conversation topic that I would suggest talking about in this day and age. But in any case, those are all the tips I have today. I hope they help you all to establish some, hopefully, well-earned friendships in the future. Friendships, connections, maybe even professional mentorships. Whatever you all do with that information. And if you enjoyed this video, I have other platforms that I post on. Sorry. Wow. The light went out. Let me fix that. Other social media platforms that I'll put in the description down below. And leave a like if you enjoyed. Share if my words reach you. And look forward to more of these kind of tips to help you all, whether socially, and I will plan to do some writing tips as well, because I am a big writer. I love poetry and all that. But alright, that's all from me for now. Catch you all in the next video.